Hello, welcome to another episode of Bryan Living and Learning. I'm Alan Brugman from the city of Bryan.
And I'm Sandy Ferris with Bryan ISD. Well, today we'll find out about some special help that Johnson fourth graders recently received when they were writing compositions. And thanks to some local organizations, Bryan second graders are riding their bicycles a little safer these days.
And we'll show you the big winners from the Bryan Police Department's annual banquet. And we'll show you a Lemonade Day PSA that we created for that event, which is coming up later this spring. But before we get to those stories, we'll show you an award that the City of Bryan recently received from Blinn College. At a Blinn College Board of Trustees meeting here in the Bryan campus, Blinn College awarded the City of Bryan with the first ever Strategic Partner Award. They gave it to Bryan for more than 4 decades of partnerships that enhanced the educational excellence and quality of life throughout the Brazos Valley. Bryan Mayor Jason Bianski was on hand to accept the award.
Very proud of our relationship as a Blinn student back in the 80s. In downtown Bryan and at the Townshire location, which was a fabulous location, moving up from what we had in our previous facilities and then to now this beautiful facility we have here on Bella Maria. But again, on behalf of the citizens of Bryan, the Bryan City Council, our advisory members and our city staff here, we look forward to continued partnerships and participation with Blinn College and the wonderful things you do for our community, for our students here to educate their minds. So again, thank you for having us. We appreciate this honor. Thank you. All right. Thanks. All right.
Well, Alan, Blinn has been a great community partner for us as well. We have several initiatives with them, so they've been good neighbors for us.
Yeah, I know our city leaders are very pleased to have Blinn's biggest campus in the city of Bryan.
Well, as our fourth graders get ready for the upcoming STAR test and the writing composition for that test, Johnson recently had some extra special help from some soldiers out of Conroe.
A huge part of the fourth grade curriculum is, of course, the writing STAR test and just writing in general. So our kids all year have been writing compositions left and right, personal narratives and expository papers. And a huge part of that process is conferencing with our students. And every day I am able to sit down with students one-on-one and really talk to them about their papers. What can they delete? What can they add to spice it up some more? Where can we plug in some similes, metaphors, alliteration? And I thought, you know what, why don't we bring the guys who we had the honor of watching land the Apache helicopter last year back, start a new tradition here at Johnson to help motivate our students by using the troops to give 110%. And just a chance for them to really show off what they know, teach them about the writing process, and really just the soldiers are just a sounding board today, and just they're talking about a time, personal narratives about a time when they felt like part of a team, and that's something the soldiers can definitely relate to, teamwork. And then they're starting an expository paper on traits that a presidential candidate has that draws voters. And of course the president is their commander-in-chief, so again another topic that the guys can really help our students start pre-writing and start brainstorming with. Faces just light up. These guys aren't only role models, but to some of them they're father figures. And these kids, just something about uniform. I wish we could wear uniform every day. When they see that uniform, they just light up in general. So I know that they're shining a whole new level of confidence as they're conferencing with their soldier today.
The Vipers, and my best
We're first the 158th Aviation Regiment, and what we do is we have 24 Apache helicopters that would the training in the States, and then we would get sent overseas, and we would help to basically protect our ground forces and help, and if they need us, they call us, and we help them out with whatever situation they're in. We also do convoy security, and we do whatever they need, the ground forces need us to do. This is a great opportunity for my soldiers to get out of the offices and what they normally do, and come spend some time. It kind of gives them a new perspective on life and a new perspective on why, this is why they're doing it. A lot of times the hard work they do, whether it's fixing vehicles or aircraft or flying them or whatever, this is kind of the reason for these kids that, they can all be free and all go about their life. So this is kind of neat for them to do. We're probably getting more out of this than you guys actually are.
Well, Sandy, I remember about a year ago we saw a helicopter land at Johnson Elementary.
That's right. One of the Johnson teachers is married to one of the soldiers in that group, so they've been a really great resource for them.
At the most recent Bryan Fire Department banquet, the firefighters were treated to a special video that showed members of our community who they have helped over the past year.
I had just moved here from Pennsylvania, and unfortunately my health is not the greatest, so I've had the opportunity to do both, you know, in both states, both in Pennsylvania and in Texas, and now here in Bryan, in the city. And I must say that everyone was so nice and so kind, very efficient, came in, asked very direct questions, where it was understandable, because as you know, it's a very trying time, you know, when your parent is very ill and something is going wrong and you cannot help them any further, but then you have someone that comes in that's very willing and able to do that, and because we're on so much medication, they were actually listening to me and performing, I mean, serious multitasking, you know, and everyone in there had a role.
I would say thank you very much. What you did touched our hearts. You saved our neighborhood. These people are very good people. You were very kind to us. I mean, they went in and pulled some things out that were of value to us, maybe not to anyone else. They made sure that the property was safe. They checked for any kind of problem, so that if we went back in, we would be safe to get anything out of any value to us. And they were just so supportive and kind to us, and I just appreciate everything that they did, and their response and their hard work.
And so we called 911, and they were here in a flash. Didn't take them but a minute or two. I don't know, they may have had an ambulance up at the hospital, I'm not sure. And of course, at that time, I guess I was back laying down. They helped me lay down, and they brought the stretcher in, and 3 guys got me on the stretcher and took me out. As soon as they got me into the ambulance, I'll bet it wasn't 5 seconds before they had an IV in me.
In what has become an annual tradition, members from Half Price Bookstore attended a February City Council meeting here at the Bryan City Council chambers to kick off their Half Pint Book Drive.
I want to sincerely thank the Bryan community for once again letting me come before you and for helping make this drive such a success every year. And I sincerely want to thank Pro Tem Mayor Horton for this year helping us kick off the Half Pint Library Book Drive.
Well, I can't think of anything that I think is more important than encouraging children to read, break every record that we have set in the past. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, Allen Bryan ISD is also conducting a book donation drive. We're trying to get enough books for all of our pre-K through 5th graders to have a book to take home by spring break.
And I know you're also collecting books at the First Friday in downtown Bryan, which this year falls on March 2nd.
That's right, or people can donate books to any Bryan ISD campus. Well, for the 4th year in a row, Bryan's 2nd graders received bicycle helmets in the annual Hard Hats for Little Heads campaign.
Today was our 4th annual Hard Hats for Little Heads, and it in conjunction with Texas A&M Aggie athletes involved. Dr. Zhang saw a need in the community to have educate young children about the need for helmets and wearing helmets with all their activities that they do, from bicycling to skateboarding, and started the program. And what it does is it provides helmets for every 2nd grade student in Navasota ISD, Munford ISD, Bryan ISD, and College Station ISD. In Bryan, that's about 1,300 helmets that were given out in Bryan alone. A group of 2nd graders get to travel to Texas A&M. The last 2 years we've held it at the indoor track facility at McFerrin Center at Texas A&M, and it is due to the inclement weather, we had to cancel 1 year, so the students didn't get to go out to A&M, and so the indoor track facility has allowed us to continue the program because it's inside. We had probably close to about 3,000, 4,000 students in McPherson Center. The student athletes that participated were football. I think those were some of the students' favorite. The equestrians, softball and baseball. The teams that wear helmets were featured. Also, the Aggie cyclists were also featured, as competing on bicycle races against the, and each of them wore a school district's t-shirt. So, and did a little race so the kids could see, a race. The students also had races of the school districts where they raced their helmets to either different mascots or their superintendents or even the mayors were there to collect the helmets, and it's just an exciting event for the second graders. It's a great benefit that they get to go out and see Texas A&M, and we got to walk the second graders onto Kyle Field, let them experience that experience. So it's something that some of them have never done before. We'd really like to thank the sponsors that have helped put this event together and provided money to pay for the helmets. Wells Fargo, Texas E&T Academy, ANCO, Galinda Group, and College Station Medical Center were some of the major sponsors that helped fund the project.
Well, Cindy, I think it's great to see some folks who are committed to keeping our kids safe.
It's even more amazing when you realize that it wasn't just Bryan students, but College Station and other area schools as well. So that was a lot of helmets.
Well, we talked about the Bryan Fire Department's annual banquet. The police department also had their banquet recently, and here are the big winners from that evening. On Thursday, February 23rd, the Bryan Police Department's finest gathered at St. Joseph's Parish Activity Center to celebrate the department and honor their award winners at their annual banquet. Police officers and their families were treated to a catered dinner and listened to special guest speaker Bill Turner, the Brazos County District Attorney.
This organization also has a group of people that are not worried about themselves. They are looking out for the organization, identifying people that need to be recognized and willing to act on it. And by that, I'm talking about the people that are doing the nominations.
After the dinner and the guest speaker, it was time to hand out the hardware. Krista Supak was named the Civilian of the Year. Will Hoagie took home Reserve Officer of the Year. Matt Miller was honored as Detective of the Year. Brian Rubish was named the Field Training Officer of the Year. And Dean Swartzlander is the 2011 Supervisor of the Year. The award of the night went to Michael Canese, who was named Officer of the Year.
Well, congratulations to all those winners.
And if I went through those names too quickly during the story, you can look up those names on bryantx.gov under the press releases section.
Well, here's a preview of our latest Just a Minute, the ongoing series in which we highlight Bryan ISD teachers.
Well, I'm here today with Joni Bailey, who's a 5th grade teacher at Neal Elementary. She's a mentor teacher. Tell us first of all, what does that mean? What is a mentor teacher?
A mentor teacher is part of the TAP system that supports other teachers to help them grow and increase our student achievement. So I go in and do walkthroughs and then meet with the teachers to discuss things that they can, work on, improve to grow professionally.
Well, Johnny, as I said, you're a 5th grade teacher, and I've had a few minutes to observe you in action before we started talking. Tell me about some of the challenges of teaching 5th grade this year, especially with the new STAR test coming up.
Well, the biggest challenge is the unknown. We have no idea what the test is going to look like, how the rigor, has improved. And we've also have more kids now, which are the group I'm working with, ESL students this year. And they just started right after Christmas with me. And so trying to bridge that gap with the language, but also to increase the rigor so they'll be successful on the test, which we have no idea of what it's going to look like. That's been a real big challenge this year.
How many years have you been teaching?
This is my 9th year. My actual 7th year in 5th grade. I did 2 years in 4th grade, but it's always been math. That's my love.
Well, to see the full version of that series, you can tune in to Channel 16 any time of the day or night. We'll have those playing. We also have them available on bryanisd.org.
For our last segment this show, we'll take a look at a Lemonade Day PSA that we created about the event that's coming up later this spring. Hey kids, do you want to be the boss of your own business while raising money for a good cause? Well, here's your chance by participating in Lemonade Day on May 6th.
Yeah!
Kids of all ages learn to set goals, develop a plan, secure an investor, create a product, and make a profit. Owning your very own lemonade stand will teach you the business skills to be successful in the future, and you'll help your community in the process. For more information about Lemonade Day and to register, visit us at lemonadedaybcs.org.
Painting the town yellow for Lemonade Day.
Well, that's all the time we have today. I'm Sandy Ferris.
And I'm Ellen Brugman. Thanks for watching.